Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a fun looking puzzle, which is another one of those where it's a single rule set. We did one not too long ago where it was just Renban. This is just killer cages. So it's called Enneagon by Jolly Rogers. I had to look that up because I had no idea what that meant. I thought it was like some character reference. Apparently it's another word for a nine-sided polygon. At least that's what the Google machine told me. But I'm not sure how that's referencing here, but let's just jump into the rule. Normal Sudoku. Every row, column, and 3x3 box will have the digits 1 through 9 once each. And killer cages. So digits in a cage must sum to the total in the top left corner and cannot repeat. So these will add to 15, these to 24, these to 15, etc., without repetition of digits within those cages. And that's it. So again, nice, clean, single rule set puzzle. It's not supposed to be very difficult, so let's just get in here and have some fun. Links in the description below, as always. Let's get the basics in. 1, 2, 4, 9, 8, 7. This guy now has to be a 9, 6, because you can't put an 8, 7, and here's the only other way to make 15 because of the 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, those aren't quite large enough. If this was a 5 cell, we could say what it was. Same with this, but we don't. This can't be the 9, so it is the 6 and the 9. What about this 13 now? Because we can't use the 7, 6 anymore. So we're looking at either the 9, 4 or the 8, 5. And this one is not the 8 or the 9. Baby steps, if you will. I don't think we can say too much about you. Not yet. What else can we say? What else do we have in here? 8, 7, 6. This guy. There is a little bit of work I think we can do here. Yeah, because we have to have a 9, but I don't know if that necessarily tells us much. Let's think about the 12 first. Because the bare minimum these two can be would be a 3, 5. So we're already at 8. So that's going to be... I guess we could go up to 9, though. But I think what it says is there will be a 3 on it. Now, it could be 3, 5 or 3, 6. And then this will be either 3 or 4. So 1, 2, or 3. Now, this one can't be the 3 because we just said that one is, no matter what we do here. Actually, does that just mean... Yeah, I think that actually just means what this is, right? Because if we have to put a 3, 5, or 3 and something else in here, because we can't just go to 5, 6, that's 11 right away, we break this. If this were to be 3, 5, we're at 8, these would have to add to 4, they'd have to be a 1, 3, and that breaks. Yeah, this is not. This is 3, 6. Just had to think for a second, which means this is 1, 2. Get a 1, 2, 4 here. Don't know if that's going to help us too much. The 1, 2 is starting to look at this 6 now. So there's a little bit of reduction we can do there. So we actually will get a 4 or 5 pair, I guess. That's a good thing. Because there's only 2 ways to make 6, obviously, in 2 cells. It's either 1, 5 or 2, 4. And because the 1, 2, this becomes the 4, 5. Now, this is a 1, 2, 4 trip as well. And what can we say about that? Does that actually... That means this is the 4, doesn't it? Because what if we put a 4 here? Well, 1, 2, you break this. What if you put a 4 here? 1, 2, you break this. This is the 4. So let's put those in. That just pairs these down to being 1, 2 pairs. How much help is that? Let's think. I don't think it gets us onto the 16 very well. Because it just means that the bare minimum these can be is 3 and 4. So we're at 7. We have 9 left over, and there's tons of ways to make 9 and 2. Well, there's 3 ways, because you can't use the 6, but you get the point. But it doesn't even have to be 9, so. What else? The same thing essentially is going to occur at the 15. The minimum this can ever be is a 3, but that's not really going to say too much for us. We could fill these digits in. I don't know that we want to, because they are 5, 7, 8, 9. Actually, that does help a little bit, because we get a quad that starts to push this downward, and that is exactly what we needed. The most this can ever be now is a 4. Well, that leaves 24. Wait, but that breaks. 5, 7, 8, 9. Did I mess something up? Because if I put a 4 here, these are 7, 8, 9, then what is this? I've screwed something up here, haven't I? Or am I just losing my mind? No, this could be a 6. That's what I am losing my mind. Okay, this has to be a 6. Goodness gracious. Because we can't put a 4 here because we break this. So now these have to add to 22. So they do, well, we knew they had a 9 on them anyway, but now we at least know it's in this corridor. So that's not our 9. Anything else? Because we don't really know how we're going to make the 22. We know it has a 9, but it could be 9, 8. Well, I guess we have to do 9, 8, 5, don't we? Because we can't repeat the 6. Because otherwise it would have to be 9, 7, 6. Because the second you put the 9 on here, you've got 15. You have to use 13 left over. Yeah, this is, okay. This is the 7 then. Thought my brain would be working this morning because I already did my a couple of prelim, or not prelim, but videos where I've got some recordings done, and I thought I was had some warm up in, but guess not. Okay, what else can we say now? How does this start to affect things? Got to be something from what we've just gleaned here that we can get onto one of these others. But what is that? I don't think it's going to be the 6s. Or any Sudoku really at the moment, other than the fact that we have some of these pairs, trips, and quads. I guess this one has to be the 7, doesn't it? I mean, it can't be the 7, excuse me. Because if it was, this would be 5, 8, 9. So this is an 8 or a 9. So there is the 5 and the 7 on here. No 7s. So 6s and 7s are being pushed down here. Can't quite say the same for the 5. Now, if we could figure this guy out, we could make that happen, but I don't think we can. Okay, what else can we do? Let's see. Still want to get onto these guys somehow, but I'm not quite seeing where the in is. Going back to our 6s, because they look like they were doing something. What exactly, I don't quite know. Yeah, there's no real X-wings or anything like that to work with there. Really can't limit this 15 at all, can we? Because we could put a 9 on this thing and still have a 1, 2, 3 to make 15. I think the 16 is essentially the same. I it could still be a 9 with a 1, 2, 4. This could be the 9, this could be the 4, this could be a 1, 2. That does seem like it could work. Okay. So what's next? Is there some way we can work these guys out? To some reasonable extent? I don't think this stuff here is going to help us any. It is 1, 2, 3, and 4, but well, I guess with the way this thing is going, we might as well put those sorts of things in. And maybe it'll shine some light on something else. Like, where do 1s and 2s go in general? Because we have a bunch of those pairs. Not really. We're close to making this guy look... Well, actually, we can. In this row, where do the 1s and the 2s go? Well, they go here. That means this can't be 1 or 2, which means this is 1 or 2. That's a curious little thing. There has to be another 4 or 5 on this row, and it can't be here, so it's here. So this is our 5, 4, 5. Yeah, we can break those up. This becomes 9. All right, good. Now this is 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Anything else? 1. This is just a 3. All right, we've got some stuff ahead of us now. Good. This is a 1. This is a 1, 2, 1. 1 should be good to go, right? Or very close. This is a 1. This is a 1, yeah. Let's look at the 2s then. Do we have anything similar? One of those will be a 2. These are from 2, 7s, and 8s. We don't have enough info there, I don't think. One of those will be a 2. Probably what we're trying to do is removing options from some of these things so that we can start to force these 15s and 16s. Now, is it ever possible the 16 doesn't have a 1 and a 2 on it? 4 digits, 3, 4, 5, 6 is what's left over. The answer is no. So there is a 2 here, which means this is a 2. Now can we keep going a little bit? One of those, one of those, one of those, not really. Okay. Maybe we can continue on the process. We can't have 1. Yeah, we can. We can't have 1 on any of these now. And if we were to remove the 2, we'd have an even bigger problem. So one of these is a 2. That means one of U2 and one of U2 gives us the X-wings left over. Let's think about 3s, maybe. Do we have to put 3 on one of these 2? If we don't put 3, minimum 2, 4, 5, 6, that's 17. That doesn't work for either one. Trying to see if we could really tell where the 3s go, but I don't think we can. One of these is, and then one of these is, but that's not telling us a ton, I don't think, yet. What about the 4? 2, 3, 5, and 6. We're at 16. We can do the 16 without a 4, but we can't do the 15 without a 4. Okay, so now we have 2, 3, and 4 here. That's just going to tell us what's left over, because that's 9, so it is a 6. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 6. Let's get rid of all this stuff. We just had to go down the line to find this stuff. Again, these are not 2s. Ooh, wrong side. You're not 4. You're not 6. Does that tell us anything about these digits now? Because they have to be 5, 7, 8, and 9. Let's just put them in. Again, we're getting a lot of work done with our marks. We might as well stick with them. This is not a 7. There has to be a 5 down here. Otherwise, we break this. So these are not 5s. One of those two will be the 7. All right. This one's not the 5, so this is. Let's look at our Sudoku as we go. So this is an 8-9 pair now, for whatever worth that is. All right, can we go back onto the 16 at all? I don't know that we can. Not just yet, because we said it has to have a 3 on it, but it doesn't have to have a 4 on it. And I don't know if we can make that help us any further. Maybe there's some more Sudoku we've just opened up here. Let's take a look-see. What the ones are done. The 2s we said are in an X-wing. The 3s are not doing a whole lot right now. One of those will be a 4. That doesn't help too much. One of those. What are you two? 7s and 8s. I might as well just put them in. Yeah. 7s and 6s. One of these is 6s. Yeah, that doesn't help too much. Okay. 5s. Again, one of these is these are 4s and 5s. Let's put them in because we at least have multiple items there we can work with. Not much else, though. And one of those 3 is the 6. One of those. I don't know that we're going to get much more here. At least not at the moment. Don't see it. 7s, we really don't have much, and the 8s and the 9s are kind of tied up in a bunch of markings. Okay. What's next? You're not a 9. Let's get you done then. That 8, 9. Don't think we can clarify some of those just yet. Okay. Well, that was the Sudoku that didn't get us as far as I'd hoped it would. Anything on you? 3s could go multiple places. 4s could go multiple places. 3s, 4s. What's the other digit? 6. Yeah, that doesn't have any real restrictions either. I don't think. Is there anything cutting across the other way that we haven't looked at? Don't think so. You're a min 3. Let's start thinking about this maybe. 3, and then it goes up to 7, 8, or 9. It was a 9. Can't be 9, because we'd have 7 left. This would have to be a 1, 2, 4, and it can't be. An 8 would leave an 8. It can't be, because we can't put a 1. The 7 might work, because we'd have 9 left over. We could do 2, 3, 4. This would be the 2, 3. This would be a 4. Yeah, that would work. Otherwise, we have a 3, and we just have to make 13 in some way. Or technically 11, because we already have a 2. What about you? 4, 6, 7, or 8. I think we're going to have some of the same limitations there. That's why I want to kind of look at it. 6, 7. If it's an 8, this has to be a 3. That would leave 5 left over, and we would never be able to make that work because it would have to be a 2-3. So no 8. If we put a 7, it again has to go with a 3. So that's 10. These would have to add to 6. That could work because we can make this a 2-4. Okay. That's not doing what I hoped it would. What else do we have then? Kind of want to look at this column as well, but there's quite a few options still in there. Four, 6. There. 7s have options. 8s have options. Oh, where's the 9 go? That's what it is. In this column, where does a 9 go? Can't go here, or any of the other places. This is the 9. Again, I don't know if that helps us in any way at all, but it's something. Oh wait, this is a 9. How did I miss this when I got to the 9s? Did I ever go to the 9s? Well, we're going there now. That's an 8. These are not 8s. This is not a 9. Let's go back through this now. Let's start with the 9s. One of those two. The 5, 7, 9 says this is the 8 and 9. So this is the 8, 7, 8. Okay, we're making some progress. It was the 9. I just didn't see it for some reason. One of these will be our 7. I don't know if that's much help to us. Let's keep going through the Sudoku here. Let's not stop on this just yet. This is the 9. Get rid of you, which means you are a 9. Yeah, this is a 9. We get the 5, 7 pair here. Good. Was that all 9s? It will be once I put this one down. And this will be a 6, 7. All right, let's do the 8s. See if we can get anything out of those guys. We can. This is 7. This is 5 and 8. None of those. We probably can't put an 8 here. We can't. Because if we did, we'd have 10, 14 minimum, and this is a 3. So one of these two is an 8. Just means one of those two is. What about over here? Yeah, it's just an X-wing on 8s left over. Okay, let's try the 7s here then for a second. Oh, this is a 7-8 pair. That's going to give us our 2. That's going to correlate back down here. And we still have these 2 leftovers. Let's go back to the 7s and 8s real quick. This is, oh, this is 4. I just saw that sitting over here. This is a 3, 6. That's still possible. These guys are from what and what? 3, 6, and 4. Because there's some reductions we can do there, I'm sure. This can't be a 6. Not as helpful as I thought it might be. Yeah, nothing else crossing over. Okay, let's go back to our Sudoku. 9s we said we're done. 8s are kind of in an... Oh, no, they're not. I didn't get to the middle section. That's the 8 and 8. So we can get those. Now 8s are left on an X-wing. The 7s... One of these is... One of those two is... I don't think that's getting us anywhere, though. So let's look at 6s for a second. One of those, one of those, one of those, one of those. 5s. One of those. We probably have to just start putting in the options of what these guys can be. Oh, wait, here's a 7 for a 5. There's a tiny little bit there. One of these will be a 5. This is just a 5, 7, 8. This can't be 8. This can't be 7. Not quite there. What are these two digits, though? 3 and 6. We can do that. Good. 3, 6. Perfect. Now there has to be something here we can do. So let's try that. Because I don't think there's anything else crossing over. What are these options? Let's throw them in there. 2, 4, 5, and 8 are our option. We can't do 8. Sorry. So they are 2, 4, or 5. So these two either add to 6 or 7. What does that do? 6, 10, 7. So this can't be a 4, can it? Because if these add to 6 and this is a 4, that's 10. We'd have to put a 6. We can't. If these are a 7 and this is a 4, it's 11. We have to put a 5 and we can't. So that's not 4. So this grouping here, just probably some way to make it work. Let's keep going on it. Excuse me. All right, let's think through the process. If this is 6, these have to add to 10, so it'd be a 7, 3. If they are 7, it has to add to a 9, so it has to be 6, 3. This is always 3. That's what we needed. 6, 3, 7, 6. This is not 3. All right. And what are you 3? Just as a given. 4. Okay, you are 4, 6, and 7. So there is no 4 here. That's what we needed. That's a 2, 5. This has to be the 3. Now let's go through our math because we have 7, 10. This is 6. 2, 3, 6, and 3, and 4, and 6, and 3, and 4. There we go. This is now 3 as well. Let's just put these guys in, see if any restrictions there. 4, 5, and 6. Yep, these are not 6s, so this is. We get a 5 X-Wing, so this is 5. This is the 4. This is the 7. This is a 4. No, it's not. It's a 4, 7. We can just do that. Let's do it. 4, 7. Let's come back here and finish this. 5, 4, 2, 5, 8, 7, 7. Thank you. 5, and we're the last 2. This is a 7. This is a 4. There we go. We got through it. Solve the puzzle. Solution is correct. 500 solves in 11 days. That sounds about right. Really fun puzzle. Really had to get into the deductions about how all of these start interacting with each other. And the 16 was the toughest one, obviously, because there was so many options that we had. But once we started digging into them, we actually started to be able to pare those down in some useful way that starts to set things off. So fun puzzle. Really enjoyed it. Hope you all did as well. And we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.